Jay, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit. Oh, Jay, you suck.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How you doing? How's it going? Good? Hope you're having a good day so far. Hope you're on your way to work. Oh, probably not because of the pandemic. You're probably working from home. You're probably 10 minutes out of sleeping. I'm about an hour out of sleeping. So we're in different positions on that aspect of life. But it doesn't matter, dude. You're probably 10 minutes away. You probably just woke up, right? You've been awake for 10 minutes. You're like, oh, fuck, I got to clock in. And now you're immediately programming or editing or doing whatever you do for your job at home, the remote work that you do for a living. And if you're up right now doing work, listening to this, congratulations. You have a job and most people don't. So that's at least one thing to be thankful for. Hell yeah, dude. Right? Look on the bright side of things. Let's look on the bright side of life in these fucked up times. If you right now are working, that's a blessing, dude. That's fucking sick. If you have a job right now, that's awesome. Better than most of us. Better than me. Better than me, the unemployed fuckface. Dude, I need money. I don't have any money. This pandemic is not helping me out with that situation, bro. I'm poor as fuck. Yeah. This coffee's bad. Dude, this coffee's bad. They sent me the wrong fucking coffee in the mail. I shouldn't even be buying coffee, dude. I don't have that kind of casholes. But, yeah, this is bad. This tastes terrible. This tastes terrible. I hope if you're listening to this right now, you just started your morning routine, 10 minutes out of bed, like I said, you're about to work your remote job. I hope whatever drink you got, whatever coffee you made, whatever morning ritual you have, I hope there's a delicious drink in your hand and not something else that you didn't want at all, but it's the only thing you have now because they fucked up the delivery, and now you're like, I hate how this tastes, but I need to wake up. Sorry. So I don't know if I'm making any sense. I only slept 5 hours last night. Couldn't sleep. Wonder why. Life isn't good. Life's going poorly. I'm sad, depressed, don't have much money, got the wrong coffee in the mail, I can't sleep too much, wonder why. Anyway, this is mocha, dude. This is a mocha latte, that's what it's called. I get the Caveman Nitro Stout, that's what I get. Caveman Cold Brew Nitro Stout. It's just regular cold brew coffee. Black cold brew coffee, no additives, nothing. 0% everything, but 200 milligrams of caffeine in a, 11 fluid ounce can, I think. And then I pour into this, mix it with some fucking half and half, and put a little sugar in it. And it's delicious. But this is mocha bullshit, dude. Mocha latte fuckface. All right? It's already got some milk in it, so I didn't add any half and half. I just put it in here, put some sugar in, and then there's that extra chocolate syrupy taste that's in fucking mocha latte. Ew, dude. I don't want chocolate syrup in my coffee. I just want coffee. I just want the coffee, okay? I want as much sweetness as I add. I don't want this extra surprise zhuzh of chocolatey bullshit. I don't want it. But at the same time, there's not really much to drink. And I got 12 of these in the mail, and I'm not going to buy other coffee when I bought this, so I'm drinking it. And I'm doing the best with what I got. I'm turning lemons into lemonade, okay? When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Now, are these lemons? No, because if life handed me lemons and I made lemonade, I would go, damn, that's a delicious beverage. Lemonade is delicious. Life handed me mocha latte bullshit coffee that tastes bad. So what I'm really doing is I'm drinking it. When life hands you mocha latte bullshit and you don't have the money to buy other coffee because you already spent your allotted money on coffee, you drink it. When life hands you mocha latte and you got not that much money, you drink it. All right? That's how it goes. You be grateful for the fact that you have a beverage in your hand, that you could even afford a caffeinated luxury drink. Okay? Be thankful for that. Be thankful that you could afford something more than water. That's what you do. When life hands you a mocha latte by accident because they fucked up the delivery, you appreciate the fact that you have any sort of luxury drink in the first place. There you go, dude. We're being grateful on this podcast today. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, guys? I watched James and the Giant Peach yesterday. It was really good, dude. Do you guys remember James and the Giant Peach? I saw on Rotten Tomatoes it was like top 20 stop motion films, and it was a bad list. It was terrible. The first on the list was Isle of Dogs, which Isle of Dogs is not a bad film, but the number one out of every stop motion movie? What? Also, I don't even know if Wallace and Gromit was on there, which is a fucking blasphemy if you ask me. I was expecting fully, it's going to be number 2 Chicken Run, number 1 Wallace and Gromit. I don't know which one. Are the first 3 considered one Wallace and Gromit movie? I think they might be. Whichever the Wallace and Gromit one, which is The Great Chase, which is like the penguin, right? The penguin's the villain, and the penguin pretends to be a chicken. Is that what happens? Doesn't he wear like a red glove on his head that makes him look like a chicken? And then they have this great chase at the end on the toy train, right? They're riding the toy train. Am I making all this up, or did this really happen? I believe it really happened. Anyway, that's always the number one in every fucking stop motion. These are the best stop motion films of all time list. I always see Wallace and Gromit number 1, Chicken Run number 2. Why is it always running? I don't know. Why is the Wallace and Gromit, specifically the Great Chase one, the one everyone loves? Don't know. Why is Chicken Run the one everyone loves? I don't know. They both involve escaping and running. Escaping and running and stop motion, they apparently are a match made in heaven. They apparently immediately in everyone's mind make you go, oh, fuck, dude, this is the best thing ever. Don't know why. Don't know why that's a magical combo, but apparently it is. Anyway, this list, Kubo and the Two Strings was number 2, which again, good stop motion movie, better than Paranorman? I don't think so. And if you don't know any of the movies I'm talking about right now, I apologize, but go watch them. I apologize because I'm talking about something that you don't know, and I don't really feel like explaining what they are. But also, I don't apologize because what the fuck are you doing, dude? You've lived a life where you haven't seen Paranorman? What are you going to tell me next? You haven't seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, dude? What? Which was, I think, like number 7 on this list. Kubo beat out Chicken Run, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Isle of Dogs. I mean, Isle of the Dogs beat out everything. But think about that. This is a list in which Nightmare Before Christmas and Chicken Run are beaten by Isle of Dogs. What? Kubo and the Two Strings is better than Isle of Dogs. Get the fuck out of here. This is a list in which Isle of Dogs beats Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is the better Wes Anderson stop-motion film. So what the fuck are we talking about here? Also, this list was a preferential list. It wasn't even based on the tomatometer bullshit. It wasn't even based on the numbers because they were out of order number-wise. There were ones with 80% after or higher up in the list than ones with 90%, and vice versa, dude. So whoever made this preferential bullshit list that's on the front page of Rotten Tomatoes, what are you doing, dude? You guys gotta hire me, man. I got better taste than this fuckface. Right? There's nothing wrong, right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but this opinion's representing Rotten Tomatoes, and it's representing what I think this whole site believes about stop motion movies. And right now, I'm thinking, hey, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't know shit about stop motion, bro. James and the Giant Peach was like 15 out of 20. Are you out of your fucking mind? Dude, if we're going to go with best stop motion movies of all time, these are the 5. James and the Giant Peach. I don't know the order of the 5, but these are the 5. James and the Giant Peach. A Nightmare Before Christmas. I would throw Chicken Run on there. Wallace and Gromit, gotta throw it on there. I mean, come on, you gotta throw it on there. So what's that? Nightmare Before Christmas. James and the Giant Peach. Wallace and Gromit. I already forgot one of them, didn't I? Oh, Chicken Run. And fuck it. Fantastic Mr. Fox. There you go, dude. 5 stop motion. Killing it. And if we're going to add a 6, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, dude. Has a very shiny nose. Ha ha. Oh, I hate the way this fucking coffee tastes. It's actually not that bad. I'm over complaining. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad to have chocolate syrup in your coffee, you know? Champagne problems, am I right? That's what I got. Champagne problems. Champagne coffee. I got fucking champagne coffee problems. Anyway, those are the top 5 for me. Now, if you ask me, Jake, how serious are you about this? If people have a differing opinion on these top 5 stop motion movies, are you going to be upset? The answer? No, I really don't care. I actually don't care. Rotten Tomatoes list, I don't agree with it, but I don't care. Anyway, I love that. That's one of the most fun things to do in life is to get, and I guess that's mostly this podcast, get very passionate about things that you actually don't give a shit about at all when it comes down to it. Right? That's so fun. It's so fun right now, too, in a world where everyone actually gets that angry and passionate about shit. Dude, I started talking about if a hot dog is a sandwich to someone the other day, and they straight up were yelling at me. They straight up were fucking angry that I was saying a hot dog isn't a sandwich. I brought it up because I was bored. We were all in the Discord just chatting like boys. All the boys were in the Discord chatting, playing Fortnite like we're fucking 13 years old, even though we're all 27. Oh, dude. Little men boys on fucking Discord playing cartoon shooter games. Bunch of fucking losers. Hell yeah, dude. I'm a loser. What of it, bro? Losers are fucking cool, dude. Losers are the new winners, dude. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard that you can just flip things around and make them not reality? Haven't you heard that, dude? 60's the new fucking 30, dude. Haven't you heard? Losers are the new winners, you fucking idiot. Poor people are the new rich people, dipshit. I'm a fucking rich winner, dude. Because losers are the new winners and fucking poor people are the new rich people, dude. What's up? I have a lot of money and I'm cool as shit. Based on what? 60's the new 30, dude. Cigarettes, fucking sitting is the new cigarettes. Am I right, dude? What does that mean? Nothing. Is it just a grabby headline that'll get people pissed off and get stupid people to be like, oh, really? Sitting's the new smoking? I better not sit anymore. What the fuck? Sitting is a new severe problem because we do it a lot. It's actually nothing like smoking, but we're going to make that the name of the article so people read it. Because people aren't going to read an article that's titled, How Sitting is Killing You Slowly. People are going to be like, bullshit. No, it's not. All right, let's change it. Sitting is the new smoking. Oh, really? I don't want to smoke. So should I not sit? Let me read this article. Oh, fuck. What am I talking about, you're asking? I don't know, dude. But I'm a loser, which means I'm a winner. So fuck you. Anyway, we're in the Discord, and I bring up, we're all bored playing cartoon games like children, and I'm just like, yo, is a hot dog a sandwich? And then somebody immediately jumps in and is like aggressively like, dude, no, it's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. Immediately. Also, I said it's super casual. I know on this podcast sometimes I'm yelling and I'm very intense, but I was like this. Oh, is a hot dog a sandwich? Hey, boys, is a hot dog a sandwich? And he goes, yeah, it's a sandwich. I go, nah, it's a hot dog. And he starts being like, what do you, no, it isn't. Why is it a hot dog? It's a sandwich. A sandwich is meat between two pieces of bread. And I'm like, dude, chill. Why are you so angry? He was getting fucking that angry. And it wasn't like a fun, it's fun to get passionate about a stupid argument like this. It was like a legitimate, to his core, how dare you say a hot dog is a hot dog when a hot dog is a sandwich, you fucking idiot. Like, it was a passion that leads to murder if we were in too close of proximity with one another. You know what I'm saying? It was the type of anger that if we were nose to nose, he would have bit my nose off and stabbed me to death over me thinking a hot dog is a hot dog and not a sandwich, which a hot dog's a hot dog, by the way. By the way, guys, a hot dog is a hot dog. Okay? I'll tell you right now. If you're ever in this fucking conversation with somebody where they go, is a hot dog a sandwich? First of all, you go, shut up. That was the real test. What they really should have said to me in the Discord was, shut the fuck up. When I said, is a hot dog a sandwich? Somebody should have been like, hey, we're all muting you. We're all muting you and kicking you from the Discord. You're not allowed back in. How dare you ask such a stupid fucking question, okay? We're trying to win the night right now. We're trying to win Fortnite in my fucking $16 Batman skin, okay? I just spent $16 that I didn't have because I want to be Batman in this cartoon shooting game, okay? I don't need to hear as a hot dog a sandwich fucking me up so I lose, all right? I just dropped $16 to look like Christian Bale from The Dark Knight, okay? I don't need you yapping in my ear so that I lose this match as well and I feel doubly the shame of my decisions, okay? But anyway, so someone says hot dog a sandwich, stop being friends with them, okay? As my friend should have done, but they're good guys, so they didn't do that. They answered the question, and one of them answered very angrily, okay? If you're confronted with someone who aggressively is like, a hot dog is a sandwich, you just say this, okay? You go, no, it isn't. And when they go, why isn't it? A sandwich is meat between two pieces of bread. That's what a hot dog is. And you go, yeah, but a hot dog is a hot dog, bread or not. And then the person will go, what? And you go, a hot dog is a hot dog whether you have the bun or not. Okay? If you said, can I get a hot dog? And someone just brought you the hot dog with no bun, you would be like, oh, that's weird. You should have given me a bun. But this is a hot dog. If they gave you a hot dog between two pieces of white bread, you wouldn't be like, thanks for this hot dog. You'd be like, why? You'd be like, thanks for this hot dog sandwich. Buns, the hot dog bun only exists for the hot dog. So that bun is the accessory to the dog. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's more of a sleeve that the hot dog sits in. So when you say, hey, can I have a hot dog? You're talking about the dog, and preferably you would like it in the sleeve that's made for the dog. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, if someone pushes back at you on this, you just go like this. Nah, it's a hot dog. I just told you why. To argue that point. And then they'll be like, well, no, because it's between two pieces of bread. So that's why it's a sandwich. And you go, no, I already explained that. And if they keep pushing you on this, you just stay steadfast and go, a hot dog's a hot dog. And the more angry you get, the more calm you remain and just go, hey, man, this conversation doesn't matter. Also, a hot dog's a hot dog. Those conversations are the best if you're the calm party. Those conversations are really just a test of who's more calm. If you have an argument about if a hot dog is a sandwich and you're the most calm person, you win the argument. Because at a certain point, Especially if it's not just you and that other person. If it's you, that other person, and other people watching or other people like vaguely participating in the conversation, whoever is the calmest wins because the audience of that conversation starts going like, hey man, calm down. The audience of that conversation gets like upset and a little disgusted at one of you being so angry it's unreasonable that they're like, listen, I side with the guy who's calm. I don't even know what the fuck he said, but I side with him because his face isn't red right now with anger about a conversation that literally doesn't matter, that exists just to waste time. Anyway, yeah, he was passionate about that. People get that way, man. People get that way. What kind of a world do we live in where it's potentially high stakes to ask if a hot dog is a sandwich? I've already talked about this stuff. I won't launch into the whole movie thing. You can't, it's high stakes to say you don't like a movie. I won't get into any of that. But I guess what I'm really saying is if you think Isle of Dogs is the best stop motion movie of all time, that's great. And you should watch it. And that's good for you. But what I'm telling you is James and the Giant Peach is what I watched the other night because of this list reminding me, oh yeah, James and the Giant Peach. That's a movie that I haven't seen in a while. That's the greatest stop motion movie of all time, is what I'm telling you. James and the Giant Peach, greatest movie of all time. Does it do Tim Burton better than Tim Burton? 100%. Dude, that movie's fucked up. I remember not understanding the plot at all in that movie growing up. If you haven't seen James and the Giant Peach, it's about this kid who's on a beach with his parents. That's how the movie starts. And then the narrator talks about how a rhino kills his parents, eats his parents. And you don't see it happen, but you see this moment with the kid on the beach, with James is on the beach with his family, and it's like very beautifully, like it's overexposed a little bit, and they shoot it like it's supposed to look very angelic and beautiful. And his parents are like, we're going to go to New York, James. And James is like, oh, crikey, are we really going to New York? That's so amazing, Papa and Mama. And they're like, yeah, that's the city of dreams, James. We're going to go there one day. And this beautiful music's playing, and they're like, oh, it's so nice there. And James is like, oh, it sounds there nice, lovely parents that love me, love me. And they get him a birthday cake. And he's like, oh, the best birthday ever. I have a cake. This is such a good life I have in it. And then all of a sudden the narrator's like, James had a perfect life until a rhino came into it. And then a rhino like is like this fucking just very dark, shadowy rhino is like trotting through the clouds, these fucking storm clouds. And it just starts barreling towards the screen, and the narrator's like, in the middle of the night, the rhino. What does it say? It says, James's parents didn't have any problems at all, or not that we know of, until the rhino showed up and ate them whole. What the fuck? So this rhino from the sky, this storm cloud rhino from the sky, which I guess is a metaphor for death or fear or something, I don't know. I think it's a metaphor for death. I think. The movie is definitely working with a lot of analogy and metaphor, but it's very unclear what the fuck the analogy or metaphor is. At least in my opinion. Maybe I'm a dum-dum. But anyway, then this kid goes and lives with his aunts immediately, and it's the fucking most fucked up shit. Then he's an orphan who has to live with his aunts who just beat the shit out of him and make him work all day. And they're the ugliest motherfuckers in the world. They're very like Tim Burton-esque, where they're painted very pale, their teeth are all fucked up. All of the sets in the movie are like jagged and weirdly shaped and off-putting. It's very I thought it was Tim Burton. It wasn't. I think it's Henry Selick. I think that's the name of the director. It was good, man. Then it becomes a stop-motion movie because some weird dude comes up to James and is like, James, I know everything about you. I'm a weird fucking narrator guy. And James is like, what do you know about me? He goes, I know everything. Your parents got eaten by a rhino, you fucking twit. You know that lamp you made last night? He made a lamp in the middle of the night while he was singing to a spider. It's a good movie. You got to watch it. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. He finds a spider. He's like, I love you, spider. We're going to have sex one day. And he makes a little lamp next to it and goes, I'm a little boy and I miss my parents. Want to go to New York, but I'm British. And then he like takes the birthday candle that he got from his parents. It's like a cricket with the what's it called? A candle coming out of it. Couldn't remember the word candle. And then he makes this like little lantern out of a chip bag. Oh, chips! A potato chip bag. But they call it chips in Britain because they say things stupid. They call them chips instead of potato chips in Britain because in Britain they say things fucking dumb. Anyway. No, we don't. You bloody American. You say things stupid. You fucking Donald Trump's your president. That stupid cunt. I don't disagree with you there. You got me there. You got me on that one. You fucking eating a cheeseburger, dumb fucking cunt. Oh, you're making fun of me the way we say chips, isn't it? That's my Lin-Manuel Miranda impression from Mary Poppins. Thank you. I'm sure you guys have heard it before. I'm sure I've done it on the podcast before. That's my Ricky Gervais / Lin-Manuel Miranda from Mary Poppins. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, he makes that bag. Then the guy's like, yo, I'm the narrator. I know everything about your life. Here's some magical crocodile tongues. And James is like, what? That sounds gross. He does that thing where he's like, these things are made of crocodile tongues and a witch's liver and galley chunks boiled in meat and people's blood and dead corpses. You know that weird thing in like children's stories where they used to like say things fast and disgusting? Do you know what I'm saying? This potion is an owl's eye soaked in a vat of cum made with cheese whiz, boiled over hard with crocodile tongues and ostrich ears and a wallop's tollop. Do you know what I'm saying? It's that weird fantasy stuff of let's just say a bunch of weird, disgusting things together and like kids will be like, ooh, that's mysterious and strange. And adults will be like, ew, what the fuck? Anyway, he says that to the kid, gives him the little things. One thing leads to another. He loses all of them because he's stupid. He trips and all the crocodile tongues hop out everywhere because they move for some reason. They glow green and move and jump around. Anyway, he ends up in a peach. It's a good movie. That's all I'm going to say. It's a great movie. But it was interesting how dark it was, how just truly dark it was. I mean, to have an opening where the kid's like, oh, life is perfect. And then a rhino comes through the sky and the narrator's like, this rhino ate his parents. And now he's stuck with these two fucking awful ants in a Tim Burton world who just beat the shit out of him and make him pick up garbage. Dude, kids' movies used to be fucked up, man. Oh, the timer just went off. Let me start the second half. What's up? We're back. I hope you guys don't hear that ringing on the podcast. I hear this fucking ringing. I don't know where it's coming from. Anyway, yeah, that movie's good. Movies were fucked up, man. Movies were fucked. Scary as hell. The whole ending of the movie, he's on a the peach ends up, they end up getting in New York and the peach gets like stabbed onto the top of Empire State Building. The peach lands on the part of the Empire State Building that doesn't count towards its height, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm talking about? The antenna. The part that they put on the top of every building, I think for no reason. No, I think it's for air traffic. For like planes to know that the building's there because it has like a reflector at the top of it, something like that. I don't know. Do I know anything about planes and flying and why antennas exist? No. Am I just going off? Am I just talking completely out of my ass like I do with everything on this podcast? Absolutely. Anyway, I don't count the antennas, dude, for the height. If you want to make a building tall, make it fucking tall. You don't get to make a building really tall and then add a 30-foot antenna and go, yeah, the antenna counts as part of it. No, it doesn't, dude. The base counts. Whatever the antenna sits on top of, that's how tall the building is, okay? I don't want to hear the Freedom Tower is fucking huge. It's not. That antenna is like 9 million feet, okay? The fucking single tower is not impressive to me. Why didn't we just make 2 again? It would have been sick. I understand that at the time that was inconceivable because we're like, oh, dude, we just lost the Twin Towers. We can't make the same buildings again. It'll be fucked up and sad for people. I understand that. But flash forward 10 years, 15 years, however long it took to make, now we got one giant, fat, thick, girthy tower when we're all like, you know what? It kind of would have been better just to fucking honor the first 2 by making them exactly the same again and saying a big fuck you to the people who fucking tore it down. Right? Wouldn't that have been a better fuck you? Hey, we're going to make the same buildings again, dude. It would have been like a good, yo, I double dog dare you for this shit to go down again. I don't know. Anyway, James and the Giant Peach is a very good movie. But yeah, he lands on the Empire State Building. And then his parents show up, or his fucking 2 aunts, and they, earlier in the movie, when the Peach escapes the village, I'm skipping over a lot of shit. But the if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But the Peach escapes the village, it like rolls down a hill, and it flattens the ants' cars, so then the ants show up later. They apparently drove all the way from their town the whole time that James was traveling on the Peach with these fucking bugs that are now gigantic from the crocodile tongues. Again, I can't get into the details, all right? This podcast can't be all about James and the Giant Peach, all right? I'm already talking about it for too long. Watch the movie and then rewatch this, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Or just watch the movie and don't listen to this podcast because you don't need to listen to this podcast. This podcast is very much an extra thing in your life you don't need. So just go watch James and the Giant Peach. It's an hour and 19 minutes. It's roughly the same amount of time as these podcasts, and it's a better spending of your time, for sure. Visually and audibly, it'll be more beneficial for your mind if you watch James and the Giant Peach than continuing to listen to this fucking stupid idiot right now. Anyway, but if you do want to know what the fuck I'm talking about, go watch the movie, come back. Anyway, his aunts like show up on this fucking, in this car. Apparently the whole time he was traveling to New York on the Peach, they were just driving to New York in their flattened car. And they get out of the car and they're like covered in fucking seaweed and water. I don't know why. Earlier in the movie, they go underwater at some point. James and the spider and anyway. They go into the water to get a compass. Doesn't matter. They're in the water, and then when they're swimming in the water, you see like a skeleton version of the ants. And then when they show up in the car, water and seaweed comes out. I guess that's to say that they were in the water. I don't know what that means. Again, I miss movies not making any fucking sense. Like, this movie has a lot of stuff where you're like, this doesn't really add up. But who cares? Like, they're super hungry in one scene, right? And then James is like, we're traveling on a peach. Let's just eat the fucking peach. So they start eating the peach and they break out into song because this movie's a musical, which I totally forgot about. I 100% forgot. He starts singing in the beginning of this movie and I'm like, oh, what? It's not really, it's a musical in the way that kids' movies used to be musicals where they weren't musicals, but they had like 3 songs in them. They were like a halvesies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, technically that's how La La Land is. La La Land, besides that fucking beginning opening music number, is like barely a musical. What are there, like 3 songs in it? It's barely a musical. Which is weird because Damien Chazelle said the reason why because the opening of that movie sucks, dude. It's obnoxious. It's overdone. I hated it so much, right? And then I watched an interview with Damien Chazelle where he's like, yeah, I made the opening very obnoxious and overdone because I wanted whoever was in the theater to be like really ready for a musical movie. I wanted people who don't like musicals to walk out of the film. Which is a weird thing for him to want because the rest of the movie, after that opening musical number, when's the next song in the movie? Fucking 15 minutes later? Like, that's a lot of time. Right? My calculations are probably way off, but what I'm saying is it feels like a long time since that opening musical number, and then whenever Ryan Gosling starts singing or Emma Stone starts singing, I forget who starts singing first. Is it Emma Stone when they're getting ready to go out? Her and her friends? I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. Damien, why are you trying to fucking excommunicate people who don't like musical movies when your movie, besides that opening, is one of the most accessible musicals I've ever seen? Like, you could have made a lot more money and had a whole new audience of people who were like, fuck musicals. Wait a second. Gosling and Emma Stone? And they barely sing? And the love story's cool? Hey, dude, maybe I do like musicals. You could have been a part of a new wave of musical fans. Instead, you were like, hey, I'm going to make the opening of the movie way different from the rest of the movie because fuck you for not liking Sweeney Todd. The fuck, Damien? Anyway, what am I talking about? James the Giant Peach. So yeah, for some reason, seaweed and water comes out of the car, and they're all fucked up and disgusting, and they're kind of bleeding for some reason. All this weird shit's happening. I guess we're to assume that they drove through the ocean. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Because James even traveled through the ocean on the Peach. They turn it into like a flying machine because they tie a bunch of seagulls to the stem. So they're just above the water. They do travel across the ocean, but they're flying just above the water. So I guess the whole time the ants were driving through the ocean. I don't know. They go underwater at a certain point, and they don't worry about oxygen at all. Also, like I said, they're starving at one point, but they have seagulls flying this giant peach, and at no point are they starving or do they start to die off because of hunger because they're just flying exhaustedly. Like these fucking seagulls never get tired and go like, holy fuck, we're carrying a 5-ton peach. Like, we can't fucking do this all day and night. No, these seagulls are indestructible. But again, I like that. I like that things don't add up. It doesn't need to make perfect sense. It's a kid's movie. It's a surrealist kid's movie. Who gives a fuck if it makes sense? It makes just enough sense for you to get, hey, James's arc is going to be that he's useful and not useless, and he's going to learn how to stand up for himself. And that's what happens. By the end of the movie, he tells his aunts, hey, I'm not coming back home with you. And all of New York, this Brooklyn cop is like, hey, you weird fucking creepy old ladies, get away from this kid James. And they gaslight him. They're like, he needs his medicine. He's a big fat liar. The aunts are so twisted in the movie too, because like they only want to bring him back home so that they have someone to fucking shit all over. It's so fucked up. And then when he's like, you guys beat me, the movie gets so real. They're like, you're coming home. It's this. The climax of the film is James is standing on top of a truck that has a peach on it. And all of New York City is in front of the Empire State Building, like listening to this kid talk about this crazy story of him traveling with bugs to New York City. And his aunts are like, he's a liar. He's a fucking idiot liar. And we need to give him his medicine. So you're going to come home. And then James is like, I'm not coming home. They go, what did you say? And then James in this really dark moment is just like, I won't go home where you make me work all day and you beat me. It gets so real when he says that. And you beat me. And they're like, oh, shit. It's funny because the movie was made in, I think, the 90s. Even back then, it's like, hey, dude, don't say. It's good to know that even in the 90s, the message we were putting out in our kids' movies was, hey, it's bad to beat your kids. It's not okay. If your parents. This movie really is a what's it called? Fuck. Not a false flag. This movie really is a mayday, mayday. Hey, kids. Hey, any kid watching this with your parents right now, are they hurting you? We're showing you it's not okay. Are your parents like these fucking ants? hey, dude, that's not okay. All of New York City is agreeing that's not okay in this scene. You beat me? All of New York's like, whoa, no, 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 no. Dude, we're fucking hard in New York. We're tough people. We don't beat our kids, okay? Which is not true for some of the people in New York, but in this particular scene in the movie, this Brooklyn cop, who definitely in reality beats the shit out of his kids in this movie, in this sweet, beautiful movie, this Brooklyn cop goes, yo, dude, you're not taking this. You don't hit kids. You're not taking this one. Get these creeps out of here. Oh, no, that's not even the fucking, the thing that seals the deal. What seals the deal is, he goes, you're going to beat me and you tell me I'm worthless? I'm not worthless. You're worthless. And then the cop's kind of like, oh, shit. Did these ants beat this kid? Like, I can't let this kid go with them. And then, like, New York City's like, we can't let this kid go with these ants if they beat him. And then the ants, instead of defending themselves, are trying to be like, hey, we didn't beat this kid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Instead, they just go, ah! And they both grab fire axes off a fire truck and go to start swinging at the kid. This is a children's movie. And the climax is the kid finally stands up to his aunts who beat the fuck out of him. And in response, in the middle of New York City, in front of a giant crowd, in response to his defiance, they grab fire axes off a fire truck and try and kill him with them. And then a spider lady and a cricket and a grasshopper and the creatures from before show up, and an earthworm, they all show up. And then everyone's like, oh, fuck, dude, what? The boy wasn't lying. His aunts are lying. And then the spider, he's like, spider, give me some web. And then he fucking webs up his parents or his aunts in this really fucking horrific way. He puts webbing around them and they just start like, the spider just starts spinning them aggressively until they're completely covered in web. And the Brooklyn cop's like, get these creeps out of here. And it's a happy ending. And James gets to live in New York. And the spider's his mom. And the fucking bunch of bugs are his family forever. And he just spends his life telling his story of being James and the Giant Peach to fucking kids outside his house. They have a very Tim Burton house where it's like this house with a tiny door, and it's a tiny house, but it's like really fat and round. Like structurally, it makes no sense, the house. Very Tim Burton-esque to have buildings whose structure foundationally don't make any fucking sense. Anyway, yeah. The spider comes out. It's like, dinner's ready, James. And James is like, hold on a minute. I'm telling all the boys and girls my story again. And it's a happy ending, dude. And they show these newspaper articles at the end. You know, at the end of like a true story film, they do a bunch of text that's like, and this person ended up with this, and this person ended up with that. In this movie, they have a bunch of fucking front page news items. Bunch of different issues of the newspaper with front page, and each of them has a front page where it's like, Grasshopper plays the violin in a 10-quartet orchestra. Earthworm becomes a skin cream spokesman. Spider opens a nightclub. Centipede. What did Centipede do? Centipede did some other shit. I don't know. Centipede was like this fucking... this Brooklyn Italian, like, starts trouble kind of kid. Anyway. He had a fucking newsboy hat. He was a real gangster. Anyway. It's a good movie, dude. It's a good movie. And I liked how fucked up it was. I liked how twisted it was. I feel like seeing a movie like that as a kid, there's so much darkness in it that I did not register at all until I was watching it now, but like it hits you. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, all these movies that I loved as a kid, I rewatch them now and I recognize all these like very dark, twisted themes in them that are very resonant for me today. Like James and the Giant Peach is about your predicament being awful and getting yourself out of an awful predicament. And bettering your life in spite of the horrible hand you're dealt. And that's fucking adult shit. That's adult shit. There's a part where he's like, you can be happy. You can choose to be happy, the narrator says to James. You're miserable, and you can be happy. And it's like, dude, fuck, man. That's me right now. You're miserable, but you could choose to be happy. Oh, fuck. But I don't know. I think there's something good about that. I think there's something good about having these dark films for kids that unconsciously prepare you for the terrible things you're going to feel when you're older. I think that movie unconsciously prepared me for the horrors of adulthood. And I don't know what that rhino is. I don't know if it was fear or growing up or what it was. It seemed to be fear, the rhino. But the movie's about facing your fears, and that's a fucking tale as old as time, bro. Facing your fears. There's full-blown adults. There's 50-year-old men who still need that lesson in their life to face their fears. There are 50-year-old men who still are afraid of things that they cannot face. Right? There's 50-year-old men who could watch James and the Giant Peach right now and go, oh shit, I learned something from that. I don't know if we make kids movies that are like that anymore. I guess we do. I don't know. I guess we do. Kubo and the Two Strings, that wasn't too long ago. And that had, I guess that had some interesting stuff in it. But I don't remember being as dark. I don't know. There was a fucking weird, dark nature to movies when I was a kid in the 90s. And maybe the world's not doing too good right now, so maybe it wasn't for the better. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, something good about it. I'm going to show my kids those movies. If I ever have kids, I'm going to show them those fucked up movies. It's funny watching movies, rewatching movies that you saw when you were a little kid, and just realizing like how much of it you didn't take in, but you kind of did take in. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying right now, but it's very hot in this room and I feel lightheaded. But, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I think dark movies are good. I like them. I think they give your child some character at an early age. I think they gave me some character that I wasn't aware of till now, This coffee's bad. Anyway. Now that I talked about James and the Giant Peach for 30 minutes of this fucking podcast. I was talking to my friend about his brother. He went to college recently. His brother just went to college. And we were talking about some of the stuff where I was talking about last week and I guess the stuff last week was also triggered by, because I've been talking to this kid who his brother went to college, or just back to college. But he was talking about how his brother could get expelled if he throws a party at all. How there's strict rules at the college right now because of COVID. Rules that I personally don't think will be very enforced. It's like the mask thing, right? They're saying at these high schools that they have to wear masks, like the kids have to wear masks. But at the same time, you see all these photos of them not wearing masks at all. And you realize like, oh, at the end of the day, it's school. And at school, they enforce things, but not really. I think at these colleges, they're like, hey, if you throw a party, you'll be expelled. But at the same time, they don't want to expel you because they need the money from you for being in the fucking dorm. So they're going to kind of turn a blind eye. I don't think they're going to be expelling many kids for parties. I think if they see 10 parties, they might expel one kid just to reinforce the fear of like, hey, we could expel you. I think it's mostly fear tactics. I think most of school, like the things that get you in trouble, are mostly fear tactics. If we implement this rule, most people won't do it. Some will, but it's not actually serious enough of a rule, in our opinion, to enforce it. I think that's really what the rules of school comes down to. Which is scary in a time like this when it should, you should actually enforce the rule of, hey, we're going to expel you because if people have parties, it could mean death for many old fucking people. But anyway, we're talking about his brother. And immediately I was like, is his brother single? And I didn't ask him, but my friend just started talking about like how his brother, he's not too worried about his brother throwing parties or getting too wild socially because his brother has a girlfriend who he's very much in love with. So I'll probably just be Skyping with her and talking to her. And I was like, oh, in my head, I was immediately like, oh, okay, that's good. Because a lot of college, especially if you have not had sex yet, a lot of college is, hey, I'm finally going to have sex for the first time. Hey, I'm finally going to meet someone. For some people, it's like, I'm going to have a lot of promiscuous sex. Other people, it's like, I'm finally going to find the person of my dreams. I'm finally going to kiss someone on the lips and have sexual intercourse and not feel like such a loser, lonely person anymore. That's what you think is going to happen in college. That's what you hope for going into college. I don't know why we feel that way. I guess it's movies. I guess it's just popular culture. I guess it's just what older people tell you about college. I don't know. But there is a thing where we're like, hey, college, we're going to fuck. Maybe it's just getting older and you're going to be not at home. You're going to be at this place with just people your age that you're like, oh shit, it's going to go down. I don't know. But immediately in the time of COVID, I'm like, I hope my friend's brother has some sort of a person he's dating because that will save you from certain dangerous situations or certain situations where you might get someone else sick. Anyway, so he tells me that, and it got me wondering, like, how many relationships that should end in college, how many high school relationships that should be over first year of college are now continuing because of COVID? How many shitty, awful, terrible relationships, high school relationships, first love relationships are now going, I mean, I don't want to get the plague, so let's just fucking continue to have sex and date and hate each other, but at least it's better than finding someone new and maybe dying. How many is that happening? Because that's the number one reason you break up when you go to college is one of the two, or either both of the two are like, I don't know, I just want to explore, I want to experience the world, I want to meet new people, I want to see what else is out there. That's the reason why you break up. Distance and there's more other people here. I want to see what's beyond my hometown. I want to see what people are like. Okay? I want to see if they kiss and have sex differently than people from my hometown. Of course, we find out immediately like, oh, people everywhere are pretty much the same. And, I might have actually liked that person from my hometown more than some asshole from California who comes to my school. But that's the reason, right? But in the world of COVID, there is no, I want to explore, I want to talk to new people. There's only like, hey, I want to stay in my room and not catch the plague. So we're going to be Skype fucking constantly, okay? Right? There's got to be the opposite switch, the opposite thing. I want to explore my wild oats, or I want to sow my wild oats. Never mind, I don't. I only want to be with this one person. I'm sure I know where they've been. I know where they're going. I know if they got a COVID test or not. I'm only fucking this person. Fuck these kids from California who go to my school. I'm not fucking any of them. I don't know what the fuck's in California, dude. I'm from Westchester, New York. I don't know what's going on in California. They might all have COVID. I don't know. They shouldn't even be coming to the school, dude. I'm staying in my fucking dorm room, and you're coming over, okay? That's interesting, man. I really wonder. And what does that mean? How long are they going to stay together? Are we going to have like a ton of terrible fucking marriages? I mean, we already do. Is the divorce rate going to increase exponentially in like 20 years from now? Because there's so many people just like trapping themselves in their relationships? Or are we already seeing... Or is this whole COVID thing just like... I don't know. It's different for college, though, because you're young, you don't know what else is out there, and college is the way you find out what else is out there. So if you have no access to whatever else is out there, you're just going to stay with the fucking person you don't like, right? I wonder. I don't know. There'll be a lot of kids who are just like, fuck it. Because it's different, not being in college because you've experienced more of life. You're more just aware of, oh, the person I'm with right now, I have a job, they have a job. The person I'm with right now, I fucking hate and can't tolerate for the rest of my life. I'd rather be all alone. It's easier to get out of a relationship in COVID once you've already experienced life a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what's out there, you know it all sucks, and you know you'd rather be alone. Definitely if there's a pandemic, you'd rather die alone than die with this person who fucking sucks. But when you don't know what else is out there, you have those goggles of like, that smokescreen of like, maybe this is the best thing. Maybe I love this person for these specific reasons because maybe it doesn't get better than this. That's part of your first love or having a first love. Maybe this is the most passion I've ever felt in my life. This is my only version of this I've ever felt, and it's super intense. Maybe nothing gets better than this, or maybe nothing is as good as this. So with COVID, it exacerbates it to the point where you're like, oh shit, maybe I should just cocoon myself in this relationship because I don't know what else is out there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess all I have to say is if you are in a relationship, if you're in college right now and you are in a relationship and it sucks, just get out of it. Don't stay in a relationship because of COVID and because you can't fuck other college kids, okay? Listen, you'll eventually find there's fucking Hinge and Bumble and whatever, okay? You'll find somebody eventually. Don't stay in a relationship you hate because you can't go to a frat party. Also, don't go to frat parties. They suck. They suck. They're all shitty, okay? Every frat. My brother's in a frat. His frat sucked. All frats suck. They suck. Don't go to those parties. Don't go to house parties. Throw your own parties, dude. Find a couple people you think are cool and throw your own parties once COVID doesn't exist. That's what you do. Dump your boyfriend or girlfriend. Fucking chill, do well in school for a bit. A year or two from now, there'll be no more COVID. You fucking throw parties in your own dorm. Be the fucking party thrower. Make sure everyone's having a good time and live a fun life, and you'll find the love of your dreams. Okay? That's what I got to say. The timer ran out. Get out of your bad relationships. Stay in your good ones. Don't kill yourself. Have a good week. Try and be happy. Kiss somebody you love. Hug somebody you don't. Or maybe not because of COVID. Anyway, I don't know. Have a good week. Thank you for listening. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense. Jake, you're a piece of shit.